Hi everyone, this is Theo, aka Parker from parkerblocks.com. Today I'm going to show you the sketchbook that I brought to the Bandung sketch walk a few days ago in Indonesia. I just came back yesterday. This is the Strathmore 400 series watercolor journal. It's only after I bought this journal that I realized that there is actually a hardcover version for this. So this is the paperback version, which is quite difficult to draw on when you're outdoors. Now the hardcover is more convenient, so because you have a hard back to draw on. This is a 48-page sketchbook. The paper is 300 GSM. There's no mention of the cotton content, but usually for such sketchbook it's usually 20% cotton. So let's take a look at all the sketches I drew during my 4 days there. This sketch is actually drawn at home. This is Singapore, and this is Bandung. The flight from Singapore to Bandung took me about 1 hour and 45 minutes, and it's quite near Bali. They are all in Indonesia. This is my packing list. You draw this for every trip, so this is a useful reference that I always look back to when I'm packing for future trips. There's the Daniel Smith watercolor palette that I use, and these two pens, my two main pens, are actually the Duke 209 fountain pen with a bent nib, and the other pen is the Pelikan M200. It's a fine nib, but you can it has a slight flex, so you can get a thicker line when you are putting pressure on the nib. So this is the first sketch that I drew in Bandung. I was attracted by the huge bamboo art installation. There are some of these huge installation at several road junctions. This one looked like a spiked ball. This was drawn from my hotel window. It was getting dark, so I decided not to use any colors, instead just go for lines. And I used Noodles ink for this, and it was actually a bad mistake. I think for some combination of ink and paper, the ink does not dry fast enough, and for Noodles ink, its reputation is as slow drying ink, so you can see some of the smudges here. I thought the ink was dry, but in actual fact it wasn't dry, so I closed my sketchbook without realizing that, but it looked dry to me. It's only after the next day that I found out the bad problem. I stayed at Ibis style hotel along Jalan Braga. This is the interesting building right in front of the hotel entrance. I drew this at night and colored it the following morning. This is also drawn from the hotel on the same floor, but I drew this at the window along the corridor. I woke up at 6 AM to draw this. This is the closest road junction to the hotel. I actually started the sketch with this traffic light lamppost, and then work myself from the left to the right, and then I realized that the cars did not leave enough space for the road here, so now you can see that this red car is going to knock into the lamppost there, which is quite funny. This is the huge mosque in Bandung. Now it's a Friday afternoon that I sketched this, but on other days that I went back, it's also just crowded with people. So there are kids and families who bring their family to this artificial lawn, huge lawn in front of the mosque. There are probably hundreds of people over there. This is another one of the road junction. This is the Balai Kota Bandung. This is the city hall where the mayor works. So our opening ceremony was held here. I drew this 1 hour before the opening ceremony. These are the chairs that we are going to sit on. This was drawn in the evening time. Day was very cloudy, but there's no shadow, so actually I added this fake shadow from the tree there. Some of the food that I ate, satay, the beer, sweet and sour fish. This is a ice cream durian vendor. This is also near the mosque. The site of the mosque. This is the mosque, and this is the site of the mosque. So on the roads, I see many of these mini vans that were driving people around. So they were all painted in the same color. So I thought it was quite interesting to draw them. These two security personnel were working at the mosque. I asked them to pose for me. This is Kia Kian from Malaysia, from Penang, doing his multi-page A3 twig sketch. So he likes to use branches and twigs to create his sketches. This is one of the many lampposts with I think it's a jaguar, some Black Panther at the top. Another road junction. So it was raining while I was drawing this, so I had the time to go and do all the slow hatching lines on the roofs of all these buildings. If it's not raining, I will just use watercolor because it's much faster. This is another sketch. This was drawn on the 4th floor of this building somewhere here by the river, and this was drawn on the ground floor. So this is the bridge that goes across the river. Another road junction, you can see that there's one bamboo art installation here as well. So it's a roundabout and the cars are turning from this side towards the church. There are a lot of cars in Bandung and I am unable to draw them all in. It's a bit, sometimes the cars would not stop for you to cross, so you have to like make yourself inch yourself slowly across the road. This is the City Hall Park. There were these Fisher's sculpture there. It's also quite crowded. That's Rob Sketcherman from Hong Kong, sketching a snake vendor who was holding a few snakes, three snakes. And these are some of the street food vendors in City Hall Park. Okay, it's raining as we ran to the restaurants. This scene caught my eye because all the people from the other table were using their mobile phones, and Fabian here is also using his mobile phone. Personally, for me, when I go overseas, I try not to use my phone that much unless I need to check the map. I feel that for every minute I spend on the phone, it's every minute that I'm not in that particular country. Yeah, so that I'll rather use my sketchbook to sketch rather than to check Facebook on my phone. This is Jalan Braga. You can see all the motorbikes parked on the road. It's very difficult to draw all these motorcycles, so these are just sort of abstract shapes. One thing I realized about Bandung versus Hanoi that I went to in March is that Hanoi is more haphazard. The motorcycles in Hanoi are all parked on pedestrians, so people would have to walk on the road itself. And they are both equally heavy in traffic. The buildings in Hanoi are actually higher because they like to build on top of each other. Buildings here are shorter except for the hotels. Interestingly, the streets are lined with quite a lot of trees actually. This is an installation near our hotel. For 3 days I was wondering why these people were taking pictures or photos in front of these strange red blocks of something. Then on the fourth day I realized that this is actually Braga, spelled as Braga. These are letters for the street. So I really found that out on the fourth day. Some of the stamps created by Bandung Sketchers, and more food. And this is the motorcycles that you commonly see in Bandung. The traffic is very busy. Most people here travel on their motorbikes and by car. And I drew this sketch on the first day, and the first day's sketch is on the last page of this sketchbook. So overall, the sketchbook takes watercolor very well. And for ink, I would say use a faster drying ink. If you are going to be using like rotring ink or ink from Copic multiliners or other technical pens, waterproof and fade-proof technical pens, there's not going to be much problem. The only problem I have here is the Noodles ink, which does not seem to dry on this particular paper. Now the Noodles ink I've used on other sketchbook are fine, just that on this sketchbook it doesn't work that well. So that's all for the sketches. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions regarding the sketches or techniques, you can ask them in the comment section below. I will also be creating a PDF copy for this sketchbook that you can download, so look out for it on my website at pakkablocks.com. The link should be in the description below as well. So thank you for watching.